Mark, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. Of course,
Great day in the city.
The president and CEO of the New Orleans Tourism and Marketing Corporation and the voice of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome on Sunday afternoons. How special was yesterday, Mark?
I can't even explain it. It was just fantastic. We were channeling Dad the whole way, and it was. I've never heard the stadium as loud as it was yesterday. I don't even think they heard my announcing, actually.
Well, okay, so that's where I was going next, but you might have kind of answered. Like, where did that environment yesterday rank? You've been in some incredible environments. Where did that rank in the bunch?
It was, I think, one of the loudest and maybe even the loudest ever. I think the energy coming into the stadium, you could feel it outside. You could feel it the turnstiles. You could feel it in pregame, and it was just amazing. Even after the first quarter when, we were looking to come back, hopefully in a big way, the crowd never left the game, and the administration and the team did a great job of getting the fans into the game, and it made the difference.
Mark Romig, the voice of the Dome, joining us here. ESPN New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Alexandria. Your family's been a part of the Saints since 1969. Your dad, Jerry, was the voice of the Saints for so long. Mary Beth and Jay all up there in the press boxes with you on Sunday. You guys have seen a lot of bad football, Mark, but over the last 12 years since Peyton and Breeze have been in town, it's got to seem like Camelot, right, which you guys have a front row seat and watching every week.
It's been very special for the entire family. As you said, this is the 50th year we've had a Romig in the house controls booth, starting with Dad in '69. And, I've got to give hats off to my mom, Janice, who has been through all 50 of those seasons. Right. She attended every game. Dad never missed a game, 446 consecutive games, and she went to every one of those as well. And it was great for him to know that he saw a Super Bowl in his lifetime. He was able to go to Miami and actually witness the victory there. And I do remember, as y'all do, that game in New Orleans for the NFC Championship. I think that was probably the most emotional game next to the one where we opened the stadium after Katrina. And to know that we're doing it in Dad's honor and memory as well. My sister Mary Beth, who's the greatest spotter there is, and Jay, who's 42 years now, I believe, with the Saints as a full-time employee as the administrative director. It's like Mom says, there's two seasons. There's the Saints season and waiting for Saints season.
and look, thankfully, the Saints for at least another week, we're still in the midst of Saints season. We're talking to Mark Romig here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. And look, so the Dome right now, as you said, the atmosphere is out of control. The fans are unbelievable. But, like, the in-game experience, like, y'all do a very good job of treating the fans just a really fun time when you're in there in terms of music, everything else. How much planning and preparation goes on behind the scenes into, like, we're going to play this here and this is what we want to play here? Like, what's that process like?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. There's a huge team led by Josh Richardson who pulls together this 18-page script, really, of everything that the fans experience. I'm just doing the play-by-play. There's so much more behind that. Chuck Edwards, who is the Pelicans announcer at the Smoothie King Center, actually is the big voice you hear prior to the game beginning. He announces the teams. He announces the national anthem, and he'll do many of the commercials that you hear through the game, like the Copeland's road race. So Chuck's there, great voice that he has. You've got Kyle Campbell, who is directing us in the booth. He's listening to Josh. When the Saint stations come out, all of that, it is just a huge production, and it's all for the fans, and it's all to make sure that they experience something that they will have memories for a lifetime. And we're just fortunate to be part of this great team, and the Saints, great organization. They've really treated everyone in that house controls booth so well, and they make it fun to come to work. I can tell you that. And then when you
go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
No, I meant, and then you get to watch the plays of Drew Brees and Marshawn Lattimore and Michael Thomas and Cam Jordan. I mean, it's just an amazing experience, and it's just fun. That's all I can tell you. It's just fun.
So just fun. I completely agree. And the moment that stands out to me yesterday, 17-14, they're playing Choppa style. Demario Davis and Cam Jordan are dancing. It's a huge moment, and they're dancing on the sideline. Crowd's going crazy. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. We were kind of talking about this morning, though. I don't know if you have any insight. When did Choppa Style kind of start this year? When did it originate? Like, how did y'all know to start playing it in the stadium? When did it start to catch on?
I gotta say, I don't know that much about the background of how it came to be, but I think it really organically came out of the locker room and the players, and it really became something of sort of their anthem and how they kind of pulled together as a team. Now, that's my opinion. I don't know for a fact. We'll have to check in with the Saints organization on that, but it certainly has caught on like the Crunk has several years ago. And the fact that it's that passion that you see, it brings everybody in New Orleans and the state of Louisiana together. I should say the Gulf Coast, because you've got, look, this morning on the Today Show, NBC Today Show, you've got Hoda Kotb talking about the Saints as soon as they came on national television. I mean, it's just an amazing thing, and it's great to be part of it.
Yeah, and Mark, we talked about your day job, obviously the president and CEO of the New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, and we're obviously in Baton Rouge. We're airing on a great affiliate down there at 100.3 ESPN Radio. Just for our listeners, what it's like to be in the city when the Saints are on a magical run like they are right now, just to be a part of the population down there.
Well, people are stepping with a little bit more of a positive step. It's a friendly city to begin with, but there's something that we all have in common now, and we're talking about it. And Monday mornings are just fantastic in the office. And now we have one more week to look forward to. We're going to be thinking about this each and every day. It'll be on national news. It's going to be on international news. The big matchup coming. It's a great thing for the brand of this part of the world. So we're pleased with it. And it's like they say, move them chains just a little bit more, and we'll keep this thing moving.
We played the great soundbite of your old man coming in, Jerry, who always said, and growing up, I can still hear it. First down, Saints. You carry that over, but then move them chains. How did you come up? I do a little play-by-play. I know that those moments happen organically. Did you plan on that, or did you kind of just throw it out there one Sunday afternoon?
With, we have a first down sponsorship, and that organization gets to hear their name the first four first downs of each quarter, and that goes along with that, move them chains. And we're hearing more and more people say that along with us, which is great too, because it becomes sort of an anthem in its own right. And of course, the fan impact play, that truly is. That's a fact. I mean,
yes,
when
100%.
we can see that noise get to the point where the opponent is insecure about what they're doing, and that they make a mistake. I mean, the fans really make that impact, and we want to call that out as much as we can.
Hey, was it shaking in the press box yesterday? That's what some of the reports on Twitter were saying.
Yes, it was shaking. I felt like I was at the Texas A&M stadium. I mean, it was shaking, and loud. Again, I don't think anyone heard our announcing. I think they were just feeding off each other's excitement. It was just amazing, and I know you've got to know the players feel it on the field.
For sure. Mark, you and your crew do a great job of keeping the game moving and the fans involved. It should be jumping this Sunday afternoon. Have a great call, and we appreciate your time here on this Monday morning.
Thank you. First down, Saints.
Yes, indeed. Move them chains. Thank you, man.
Who dat? The New Orleans Saints are one step closer to making it to Atlanta for the Super Bowl as they cap an incredible and dominant comeback, defeating the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, 20-14. Looked very sketchy at first. A complete implosion by the Saints in that first quarter. Despite that, I feel more confident now today than ever that this is a championship team from New Orleans, and because a lot of championship traits were on display. The ability to overcome adversity, the ability to flip the game on its heel and dominate. There were championship caliber moments within this game. So the Eagles dominated the first quarter, 14 points, 0 points from then on out, 98 total yards from then on out, less than 10 minutes time of possession from then on out. The Saints, after the first quarter, dominated this game in every single facet. And what I love is not just the adversity they were able to overcome, but it's how they did it. At the end of the game, when you had to have it, you had both sides of the ball making game-winning plays, right? The defense forces a turnover. The Saints offense gets the first down needed so they can kneel it. No chance for a Minnesota Miracle Part 2. Incredible job by New Orleans. Mike Thomas, Drew Brees. the defense, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, there's just so many guys to highlight. Keith Kirkwood, the 18-play drive, the most ridiculous drive I've ever seen in my entire life. And it ends up with a Saints victory. So just a hell of a job by the black and gold. Now they move on to face the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to be breaking down all week on Off the Bench, so check it out. 7, 9 a.m. each and every day on 104.5, 100.3, and 94.7 ESPN. If you missed today's show, make sure you check it out on demand on 104.5ESPN.com. We really did just have a ton of fun. Who dat? Celebrating the Saints' big win. They move on to the NFC Championship. What are the keys to the game? What were our biggest takeaways? We looked forward to the Rams a little bit. We looked at the overall playoff weekend. What stood out to us? Just very fun from beginning to end. We also got a little LSU basketball as LSU men's head coach Will Wade stopped by. He talked about the Tigers' big win at Bud Walton Arena in Arkansas Saturday. Kind of touched on the trip to Ole Miss coming up tomorrow, which we'll talk about more tomorrow. And then in hour number 2, we have Mark Romig, the voice of the Saints, on the program. It was excellent. Just trust me, it's a fun show. If you missed it, check it out on demand, 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Coming up on Tuesdays, Off the Bench, we'll start to preview Saints-Rams. What are going to be the keys? We'll preview Pats-Chiefs. What are going to be the keys there? LSU hitting the road to Oxford, Mississippi. Really big game against the now highly ranked Rebels. Can they get it done? And then a little Pelicans as well as they prepare for maybe the hardest stretch of their entire year. So a ton to break down. Tuesday morning, Off the Bench, 7 9 a.m., 104.5, 100.3, and 94.7 ESPN. Another Monday and another rough weekend for the New Orleans Pelicans. Winners of 3 in a row going into the weekend. They had Minnesota Saturday night. Said it was a big one to get. Minnesota's in flux. They just fired Tom Thibodeau. Pelicans need some more positive momentum. Things are looking good with Elfrid Payton, and unfortunately the Pelicans fall 110-106. Why this was so important? Simply because this is a Pelicans team that has maybe their toughest stretch of the season, coming at 9 of the next 11 teams they're going to play would be in the playoffs if they started today. That includes the Warriors, the Blazers, and then the Clippers tonight at 9:30. So when you talk about the true make or break stretch for this entire year, this is it. We're into 2019. We're almost at the All-Star break. It's too late to try to get on a run if you can't get on it now. And it just so happens that this Pelicans team, like I said, their hardest block of the schedule here is coming up. So can they go on a run? Can they upset some of these teams? Can they prove that they are a playoff caliber team because they can beat playoff caliber teams? Or is this a stretch where the season folds in on itself and the implosion completes? We'll have to wait and see. Very tense times for Pelicans fans, but really brutal that you let that one against Minnesota slip away Saturday night. So we'll be watching tonight, 9:30 against the Clippers on the road. Can they get it done? Tell you a lot about this, who this team may end up being. We'll break it all down on Off the Bench, 7 9 a.m. each and every day, 104.5, 100.3, and 94.7 ESPN.